Hello dear all. So in this presentation we discuss modern medication and homeopathic principles, 35th chapter in Robert's philosophy. So let's see the introduction. Like all principles, homeopathy have been discovered and evolved through the crucibles of time, experimentation and increasing enlightenment. So this statement in the book is very true that homeopathy is discovered and it has evolved through the crucibles of time. It has evolved and it has faced lot of obstacles, lot of criticism, but it is standing firmly because of repeated experimentations and the results and the increasing enlightenment. So Dr. Hahnemann discovered homeopathy in 1796 and he comes with the various discoveries of concepts related to it, like concept of vital energy, concept of potentization, that is drug dynamization, and the most important, the theory of chronic disease, that is miasms. So the principles, those who understand and seek to apply them, and to those who benefit from their application, stand preeminent, unchangeable, in spite of all changes in therapeutic fashions. Means what? Those physicians who are applying these principles and those physicians who understand them and can practice homeopathy are getting the benefits that they can cure the patients and they can stand firmly in this world in spite of all changes which are taking in the therapeutics. So it is given the word as therapeutic fashions because the fashion always changes and so is the various therapeutics in the modern medicine, they are always changing, but homeopathy is based on laws and inductive logic, and Dr. Hahnemann is called as experimenter in the field of medicine. The natural laws are always eternal. So, in the book, Dr. Robert says, to principles there is no time element. Natural law knows no ancient, no modern. So, it means that the laws are eternal. Time offers only the greater opportunity for examination of the result of applied principle, the action of natural law. Evolution knows not the meaning of fashion. Thus, the application of this law and its benefit is confirmed after some time as we get the result of the application of the law. The confirmation of experiments is very important and this speaks about the success of the application of law. Word modern medicine is deceptive. How we can see here? The word modern must always used in comparative sense. Medicines, while always dealing with the ills of mankind, has passed through continuous barrage of modern discoveries. So, the therapeutic method is having lot of types of medications and the newer discoveries are made and they are added as therapeutic methods. In spite of the increased knowledge of mechanism of the body, no guiding principles have been discovered by the dominant school of medicines that are sure and certain. So, as the science evolved from 18th century. Lot of discoveries are made by man and his knowledge is expanded, but the modern medication does not give any fixed guiding principle for the practice of therapeutics. Modern medicine offers symptom relief. Consider the discovery of the synthetic group of drugs like aspirin, luminol, the phenols, the sulfonamides, the vitamins, and numerous others. Investigation of the claims of these therapeutic measures aimed is a single symptom or at most small group of symptoms, but not at all the patient himself. Thus, modern medicine aims at relieving the patient's symptoms, but the individualistic approach of treatment of patient is not present. It will offer the symptom relief. The sincere students of science through laboratory research and from clinical observation, warnings were sent out that there should not be too free use of substances except under the most careful observation. Thus, in spite of the warnings given that the medicine should be used only after the careful guidance of the physician, modern medication was used freely by laymen. In the meantime, the fashion of use had spread with the corresponding amount of further damage to health. So, easy availability of, say, for example, painkillers, the people use it in and out for the symptomatic relief, but they are not aware or they are ignorant of the damage it causes to health. So there are side effects of the medicines. Example, aspirin widely used in control of pain by physician and laymen until its depressant properties came to be known. American Medical Association published warning against use of it, but except careful prescriber, this was in domestic use. Thus, aspirin was widely used by the people and they ignored the warnings given by the physicians, but they have used it in and out and it has damaged the health. The side effect is a depressant properties of the drug are ignored. Homeopathic physicians have known the dangers of suppressive measures. Dr. Hahnemann, who observed that any drug was poisonous if dangerous dosage were given. Thus, Dr. Hahnemann put forth the disadvantages of the dangerous doses. The hazardous doses were quite dangerous for the health. Homeopaths should carefully use the medicines. It is expected that homeopathic physicians early recognize the dangers of the synthetic drugs. The ability of the trained homeopath to observe and correlate symptoms made it a foregone conclusion that he would easily trace the depressed vitality. So, homeopathic physician must be very careful while he is using synthetic drugs. So, synthetic drugs, while its combination of two drugs, like for example, say calcarea phos, or it is the natrum phos. So, this remedy must be thoroughly proved. So before administration of this remedy, homeopath must have the effects of this drug noted on the prover. He is trained to realize the dangers of suppressed or masked symptoms. Example, acute cold cannot be suppressed without grave danger to health of patient. Example, never veil sins. So he should be aware of the suppression of the symptoms. So patient will give you this symptom that never well since last typhoid, never well since the acute cold has been stopped. So Dr. Hahnemann has guided the homeopathic physicians to note the dangers of the suppression of the symptoms. Homeopath has to apply the law of similars. So the phenols, that is phenobarbital, as palliative in many illnesses, but the deadly nature was discovered and warnings were posted against their use, but still they are used extensively. For homeopaths, there should be only one criterion for use of medicines, that is similarity of symptoms. So application of the law of similars is based on the similarity of the totality with the remedy chosen. Allopathic medicines have side effects and homeopathic medicines, they do not have the side effects. So popular sulfonamides are useful in infection, in controlling the infection, but tremendous side effects are there and researchers are making less harmful combinations. But the fact remains that where medical agents are capable of eradicating organisms by stimulation of the dynamic force to the point where nature itself balances, there will be no danger to patient sooner or later, like homeopathy. So what is the explanation of this? That the medicinal agents are capable of eradicating the organisms, that is bacteria, viruses, fungus or worm infestation, by stimulation of vital energy, so that the natural immune system is aroused, but there is no danger to the patient, there is no danger of suppression, but the cure takes place naturally in homeopathy. So many times the modern medicine drugs are given to kill the organisms. Now what is the result? That usually it is seen that since many years, since the possibility of sterile death has been acknowledged, the bloodstream being sterilized of invading organisms, yet death results. So although the invading organisms have been limited in action, the system has to overcome the effects of the infection plus the toxic effects of the treatment. So two aspects are there, that the toxins related by the organism as well as the side effects results of the drugs. So the invading organisms have been limited in action. So although they might be killed, but they have already liberated the toxins in the bloodstream. Hence, it is found that even the drugs have killed the organisms, but the death results. Homeopathy brings natural cures. As said previously, the results of homeopathic remedies in such infections as pneumonia, streptococcus, staphylococcus and other generalized or local infections have been more remarkable than any other system of medication. Thus, how does homeopathy removes this infection without the any drug directed against these organisms? The answer is very simple. The homeopathic remedy arouses the natural immune system and the natural fighter cells are able to remove the infection. Natural laws upon which homeopathy is founded and our principles are based work surely in serious as well as all other diseases. In acute disease, the symptoms are striking. For treatment of such acute diseases or any diseases, the name of disease is not primarily important for homeopath. The homeopathic physician recognizes another important principle in these serious states. The more acute the case, the more the infection strikes at the life of the patient, more clearly indicative are the symptoms. So, in acute disease, as the deviation from the health is very recent, all the deviations are very fresh in the minds of the patient and they spontaneously give the symptoms. So, homeopathic physician receives these symptoms from the patient and finds easier for the selection of the remedy. Thus, homeopathic remedy works regardless of the name of the disease. How does homeopathy works? It enhances the absorption of all the essential nutrients from the diet. Thus, the source of vitamins in natural foods, especially raw fruits, has been recognized for some time. And of course, sources of synthetic vitamins have been discovered and their use is urged through the drug houses. So, the pharmaceutical companies are making profits and they are advising the use of vitamins. It has become a business venture which is very profitable to the producers of the vitamins. The amount necessary to effect any change in nature is the least possible. As said by Fink, thus the amount of the action necessary to effect the deranged vital energy is done by our least quantity of the remedy, that is our dynamic remedies, which do not contain any countable quantitative drug substance, but the hidden powers are transmitted to the potentized remedy and thus they bring about the cure. Thus, the minimum dose is able to bring the cure by administration of the similimum. Overdosing is always dangerous. Overdosing with vitamins which have a constructive and maintenance value would have two definite reactions. One, destructive action is proportionate to its normal constructive action. The permanent disability of the system to react to the normal vitamin intake. So if example is given, the effect of insulin administration in the diabetic patient, he soon loses his ability to produce the necessary secretion in his own economy. So overdosing is always dangerous. The system is forgetting to produce the various essential vitamins on its own. Modern medicine has side effects and they are manufactured by drug houses, that is pharmaceutical companies. Homeopathy, we are using similimum in a minimum dose, a minute dose, dynamic in nature, which does not have the measurable quantity of the drug substance. But with the subsequent dilutions, the power is transmitted. So, even though the drug substance is not present in the quantitative way, the dynamic remedy is able to bring about the cure. Thus, homeopathy does not use the large doses but the minimum minute dynamic doses. It is foolish to reject the new just because it is new. Means the homeopathic science is very recent. It is from the 18th century as compared to the other medical sciences. But it is based on fixed principles and natural laws. So it is foolish to reject the new just because it is new. But it is even more foolish to accept every new findings blindly without fully testing its validity when we have at hand all the means for sound procedure, means which the dominant school so far has failed to accept. Thus, the modern medicine also should be careful in accepting the new findings blindly without testing its validity. So, they should confirm the validity of the new drugs and they should have the idea that the side effects are very dangerous to the health of the patient. Homeopathy came with new principles. Modern medicines may have side effects which must not be ignored and they are hazardous. And modern medicine not having any principles. Thus we understand at the end the what is homeopathy and allopathy, that is modern medicine. So homeopathy based on the law similia similibus curantur. In the modern medicine there is no fixed principle. Homeopathy based on symptom similarity. In modern medicine usually antipathy is given. In homeopathy there is a dynamic approach towards life. So we accept the life energy, that is vital energy. If it is functioning harmoniously, the person is in the state of health. But if it is deranged, then the patient is in the state of disease. In modern medicine, there is no consideration of the life force, but the materialistic approach is there and towards life and explains the vital operation in terms of chemico-physical reactions only. Homeopathy firmly believes and does individualization of patient, whereas the modern medicine is doing the disease diagnosis on the basis of common symptoms and treatment is based on it. Thus, they consider the organ pathology and just are treating the organ pathology. Homeopathy, there is holistic concept of disease, means we understand the patient from his general symptoms, that is the mental generals and physical generals, and then the particular symptoms. So particular symptoms are of the organ which are getting the disease, that is the pathology is developing in the organs, But homeopathy does not consider the pathology of in the organs as the disease, but we consider patient as a whole, his mental aspect, the general symptoms of the patient, and then the particular symptoms. In modern medicine, only the local concept of disease, that is organ pathology. Homeopathy considers the cause of disease is dynamic, whereas modern medicine considers the cause of disease as material, that is in terms of organisms, pathogens. Lastly, again we revise what is homeopathy and what is modern medicine. Individual remedy is prescribed for individual patient by studying the patient's mental generals, physical generals and physical particulars. Totality of symptoms is constructed and remedy is not prescribed for one symptom. In modern medicine, specific medicine is given for specific disease and symptomatic relief is present. In homeopathy, drug proving is done on healthy human beings. Thus, the instruments of cure are they are having the knowledge of the effects of these drugs on healthy human being already. In modern medicine, drug proving is done on animals and laboratory experimentations are carried. In homeopathy, application of one simple single medicine at a time is done, whereas the modern medicine is giving massive doses of different medicines and mixtures are given. Homeopathy is based on fixed principles and modern medicine not advocating any fixed law or principle. Thus, we conclude the discussion of the modern medicine against the homeopathy. Thank you.